Today we're going to revisit the Odroid computer we built as a mini tower with its own graphics card. This custom case encloses an H3 Plus Odroid with 32GB of memory, a 1TB SATA SSD and a 5TB SATA hard disk. The aim of this project was to explore how the basic Odroid computer could be expanded to use a full RX6600 graphics card, using the M2 slot on the underside of the motherboard. As you will see, this was achieved using a PCIe extender board, which plugged into the single M2 slot on the Odroid. This allowed the Odroid motherboard to be mounted above the graphics card, and gave us the tower form factor. Of course, while this allowed the graphics card to be mounted in close proximity to the Odroid motherboard, it did leave open the question of where the power for the graphics card was to come from, as the Odroid itself is not capable of powering the graphics card directly. However, the PCIe expansion board did have ATX-style power connectors to allow connection to a separate power supply. So we left room beside the graphics card for that compact PSU, which is going to be an HT-Plex 500W all-in-one unit. This will provide all the power needed for the graphics card. So with the graphics card's PSU all sorted, we then started setting up the cable routing for power input and the power switch. Additionally, I started thinking about the outside of the case, and decided to do some 3D printing for the top half of the front panel. As the graphics card was quite large, it projected both at the front and back of the case, so the outside of the case needed to evolve to accommodate this. So using more Maker Beam struts, I extended the bottom half of the frame at both front and back. Additionally, I ordered up 2 perforated steel side panels and mostly abandoned the magnetic tape I'd been using to connect the panels to the frame, opting instead for mounting bolts. I did leave one side panel using the magnetic strips to allow very easy access to the internals, making cleaning the graphics card's fans very easy. The final modification was to add a 5TB hard disk for archival storage. So looking back, just how successful has this project been? Well, we did succeed in getting a graphics card interfaced with the Odroid H3 Plus, and the approach would also work for the H4 series, except for the basic model, which has no SATA ports. In testing, I did edit one of these videos using this computer in DaVinci Resolve. The graphics card handled the load perfectly, but the 4-core processor on the H3 Plus did struggle a little in comparison to the 8 and 16-core computers I normally use. But to give an Odroid an extended life, I count this project as a success. That's it for today. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching today's video. Please feel free to click on the link in the description below to discover more videos.